Now, I'm curious for y'all, because obviously we've talked a lot about, if this team's going to tank. And I'm not saying they'll tank, but they might just not have a good record. If the Cowboys were to get a top 5 pick, or maybe even the number 1 pick, are there players or a direction you would like to see them go? Like, are you in the team? Because there is some group of people that, like, let's say your top 3 automatically want you to trade down, pick up more assets because people will be quarterback hunting up there. I know with Travis Hunter, it might be a different deal, but how are you guys feeling if you did end up getting a top 5, maybe even higher pick?
So they're so bad right now that there's really not a position that if they picked, I'd be like, that's a bad pick.
Okay.
If you were to get the top player,
except that one position.
Yeah, missionary. If you were to take
your children are here.
Those are people who spread the word of Jesus. That's what that is. Now, anyway,
it's a round 2 kind of position.
That's exactly what it is. Hagee's already regretted this. Like, he looks so mad.
If you could sneak that in like the 3rd or 4th round, even
sure,
that's where it pays off.
Yeah,
so happy I get to
if you're going 3 rounds, no, but if you, I think, look, there is so much that they need. And really, the only spot, I know everybody thinks they need a quarterback. Let me even say, I'll grant to you that they need a quarterback. All right? If I were to say that to you, it's not fiscally responsible right now to do it.
Agreed.
So, outside of that, they really could take, if they took a tackle, I'm not mad. If they take a guard, I'm not mad. If they take a receiver, a defensive end, like there's anything they could take. So, when they're in the top 10, they're going to be in a position to take whoever's the top player at a certain position. So, to me, I don't have it's not killing me to have them take anything, really. But, I mean, I would say, how confident are you that Tyler Guyton's going to be good? Because that answer probably depends on if I want another offensive lineman or if I want to get maybe a playmaker on the outside.
Yeah, perfect world, I'm probably trading down here.
Okay.
And I'm trying to collect as many picks as possible because there are so many holes across this team right now. And if you're not drafting a quarterback in the top 5, certainly at like number 1 overall, but even in the top 5, I think it behooves you to move down unless there's just a blinking red light, holy smokes, generational guy that's there for you at 4 or 5. But I don't see this draft being.
Is that not
like
Travis
that.
Hunter for you?
Well, I guess he.
I'm seriously asking.
No, that's a fair name to put there. And I would love to know what their plan would be for him. Broadus like some wide receiver and then part-time kind of DB. But yeah, you could make the argument for that for sure. But I would love to go trenches and build sort of out.
So I had Travis Hunter when I watched him on both sides of the ball. The comparison I came away with as a receiver, I think he would be like Chris Godwin, which is a really good player. I think if you told most teams you're drafting Chris Godwin at 8, they'd go, okay, like I'll take it.
Yeah,
and so
sure.
That's who he is as a receiver. The problem is as a corner, I think he's Jalen Ramsey. Like that's the kind of player he could be. He's a little lighter, but he's got room to fill out. But I mean, you're talking about that's the kind of split that I think you're talking about. Broadus thinks he thinks that Travis Hunter gets worked too often, that he's a little sloppy out there. He's a little too vulnerable to some of the stuff.
A little undersized, like that big Arizona receiver apparently kind of has way with him last year.
Yeah, and McMillan, like if you're picking somebody had asked us yesterday on Love the Star, they're like, if you're picking in from 1 to 20 or 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 32, in those ranges, what's the sweet spot for a position right now? And so I think 1 to 10, like if you're picking in the top 10, the best value might be receiver.
So I've seen this text come in a couple times this morning. I have to admit, I have not thought about this one single time, and it is kind of interesting. Is there any concern about playing both positions doubles up the mileage on your football body and how that negatively impacts his draft standing? Or would it with you negatively impact his draft standing?
It's a factor. It absolutely is a factor. I mean, that's why I don't think he can. I mean, he definitely can't get away with in the NFL what he's doing right now, where he's a full-time player on both sides. But how much has that aged him disproportionately? And at what point does that chicken come home to roost, so to speak? Like, is that in the rookie deal where all of a sudden the mileage, because he's playing an ungodly amount of snaps.
Yes.
And
like
how long?
Maybe 100 a game.
No, I mean, it's a lot of times at Colorado, he's played 150 snaps in a game.
That's unbelievable.
And it's
it really
something
is.
where, and especially because he's playing at the level that he is. And this isn't, D3. This isn't directional, Missouri Baptist school. Like this is something where he's playing at a high level. The thing is just, it does put a ton of mileage on his body. And he's somebody who, I think there are concerns about how his frame holds up. Like if he's injury prone, and then, okay, do we want him potentially to be playing both sides of the ball full time? I think the biggest thing is just going to be not the mileage he's already put on. It's the fight some teams are anticipating with him over you can't play every snap. You just can't do it.
Okay. Because I imagine that will be a big part of the pre-draft visits.
He's insistent he wants to play both full time.
Okay. And you think teams are going to be insistent that, no.
I think it's
you just can't do that, man.
It's what is it? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. I think teams will just say sure, and then they'll draft him like, sorry, plans changed. I don't know what to tell you.
We have decided that you are not allowed to do that.
And he's like, all right, well, then we're going to set the record for 12 men on the field penalties. But I will be on defense.
But you know what? The thing is that this is also a factor with the NIL thing. Like a lot of these teams feel like, in the past, it was a rookie coming in, and who were you to tell us? Travis Hunter's like, I've been making millions of dollars since I was 18.
Yeah.
I've already established my brand. You're not bigger than me. And teams are already having some concerns about breaking in rookies, so to speak, of just like, how do we, this is already, a lot of times it's tough when you get a young, cocky rookie walking in there feeling like they're entitled and that they choose the direction of a lot of things. It's even more so when it's like, how is a head coach who doesn't even have as much in his bank account as I do going to tell me what I'm going to do? That's not going to work.
I'm concerned about this from the 214. I speak for a lot of us Master Peeps, I believe, when I say we love your show. We love you guys. We love your unbridled dedication to charity. But I'm really here for the chaos, usually at Kevin's expense.
Yes.
Is that why you two are here at the same time for the chaos, perhaps at my expense?
I mean, yeah, partially. Like, I wanted to get, some of Derek's thoughts on critical race theory. I wanted to know what Mike thought about Common Core math standards. And
what about me?
Hey, was Sean really mad at the end of the show?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, no.
He really texted you F off?
Oh, I saw that text. I can confirm. Yeah. I can absolutely confirm that.
I think he enjoyed playing along with the bit. Up until, because I went and clipped it and sent it to Lucius. I was like, you should play this. I think he was cool with the bit until it got up to 1 minute and 55 seconds straight up. Your dad's going to die in 5 years, Sean. I think that's where he was like, all right, we don't need to keep reiterating how much my dad's going to die.
Yeah, enjoy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And, if you really want the chaos to get started,
he's here.
We just turn on the mic
Enjoy
chaos
every
button.
moment.
Get the mic chaos button going. And
where's
and
the off
good.
button for that?
There is no off button. Once you've opened that valve, it never shuts.
Okay, well, that is a concern of mine.
I do wonder how much Sean is going to fork up for turning his back on charity and the Metroplex.
Did I tell you I sent him a text? I said, consider that guilt. And he put dislike on it. I was like, oh, no.
Like, you have to feel that in a situation where you have to put a dollar amount on something, and it's like you have to feel it. So for Sean, I mean, this could be, you might hit the 10K donation.
In terms of you freaking out and getting you worked up, I will say, the risk, because I was just explaining to Eric, we were walking to the parking garage last night. He didn't know this. I said, like, whenever we're in crosstalk, if there's a really bad joke that pops in my head, I'll just take my headphones off and like walk around I'll just leave the conversation to walk around the table and just whisper it into Hagee's ear and tell him the bad joke. Because I can't keep it.
No,
like
I don't.
No, yeah, he doesn't. But to be fair, he sends some pretty aggressive jokes himself to be in text when we're in crosstalk.
Because you're one person. I know a few people like that in my life that I can text whatever and you'll be like, whoa, that is dark.
I'm just glad to know Bobby does have the capability to whisper.
I would have never suspected.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Not at a family dinner, though,
one
right?
time. Kevin, we have an update. The first marker has been hit. We have reached $2,000 raised in donations alone.
We did. Holy.
And therefore,
sauce.
we now need to decide who will do the cranberry and pour cranberry sauce into their pants while also singing "Linger" from the Cranberries. If I can keep myself from having to do anything else for the rest of the day, I'm perfectly capable of achieving this goal and doing this.
Is that how you do it? Like it ruled. Like now you're off the board.
He's a good singer too.
Oh, I know. You got
Thank
pipes.
You. Yeah, not like Bobby. Bobby can sing, dude.
He was in the choir.
Auto-tune. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
your wife said yes.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, okay.
No,
but I will volunteer. in
Yes,
tribute.
it was. We were the Von Trapp family singers.
That's what I was wondering.
Oh,
His
yeah.
mom was supposed to be the conductor for it.
Yeah, he did it all.
minus the ducking like a dominant global
so
takeover.
dark. If you haven't seen Sound of Music, oh my gosh. I will say it's weird to me that Sound of Music only has this reputation as like a really fun, upbeat movie with all these kids. And I'm like, what about all the Nazi stuff?
There's a lot of Nazi stuff.
There
Like,
is.
we don't talk enough about the Nazi stuff within it. We're just like, she sat on a pine cone. That's
they-
hilarious.
They sang when it was time to go to bed. It's like, what about when they had to run for their lives? Bah. Don't worry about that part.
So we need to figure out when to fit in Cranberry, which I think 30 seconds of singing should be good enough.
Is that a front pour or is that a back pour?
That
Or
is,
that a
you know what? There's
user
4
decision?
cans. So
Oh, there's 4 cans?
and I'm not wearing underwear. So
Oh,
man,
well,
that's-
never mind. I was going to say maybe
We'll have to
Bobby's
work
I just
kids
wish you would have worn
can decide,
pants.
but now that feels like a violation of many laws. So I feel like we should probably
So I'll
not
decide.
do
I'll
that.
decide. I'll take that on. We'll get this ready, Kevin. Just let me know when the time is, because once we hit 5,000, we will do the mousetrap maze.
Okay.
And then
I remember watching you
it
do
is
that.
not fun. And my kid did purchase the ones that are like larger than my phone that could probably break toes. But also once we
great.
hit $10,000. Kevin will take a ham slap to the face. We just got to find a ham. So that we got to accomplish
is that
Like the burrito, or not the burrito, the yeah.
You're doing great. You're doing great there.
And you're sitting here talking about Eric being drunk. Jeez.
Hey, just
Well, he
reminding
took a good
everybody,
pour of my shine.
we do have
I'm
a custom
hammered.
Ricky Williams jersey from Texas that he autographed that he inscribed "Smoke weed every day." So if you're interested, yes, we had to blur that out on the description on the website, but it says "Smoke weed every day." And then we have a Johnny Manziel autographed jersey that he wrote "NCAA sucks" on it.
Derek would like to know why you had to censor that.
I
He
was
wants to
not in
dive
charge
into it.
of the website. I'll tell Derek another story once we get off air about the item that's not up for bids.
Item.